Hello class, and welcome to lesson 3.7 on dividing decimals by whole numbers. So here's our warm-up. I want you to go to page 231 for our warm-up. So go to page 231 for the warm-up. So in the book, it says, Charlotte, Aaron, Maddie, and Katie went to the movie and ordered snacks from the menu shown. So that's what we see on the side. How much did they pay for 4 small popcorns? Then it says, what is the total cost for 2 small candies and 1 large candy? And then it asks, how much do 4 medium drinks cost? There's a couple ways we could do this. If you happen to know, which we do know, how to multiply with decimals. If you're having trouble, do some repeated addition. But just like our last lessons, we all know how to multiply by decimals so far. So what we're doing is we're multiplying by our decimals. Lucas, what did you get for your first answer for 4 small popcorns?
I got $9.80.
You got $9.80. If we looked at it, the small popcorn cost $2.45. And we got 4 of them. So I'm going to put the 4 under my ones place, right? Because that matches. I'm going to put my 4 under my ones place for the multiplying. What do we think? Thumbs up, thumbs down. What do we think? Yeah or no? Thumbs down. We always line it up at the right when doing multiplying. And exactly as he did, he moved it over twice. So I like to put a little 2 there to remind myself. I get 0, 20, 8, 16. So it becomes 18. That's 8. We get 9. And then we move it back, 1, 2. Remember, I do my math really fast, but slow it down in the video if you need. So exactly, we get $9.80. Marley, what did you get for the total cost of 2 small and 1 large candy? What did you get for the total?
$8.
Camilla, what did you get?
I got $8.10.
Oh, we're getting actually a little bit further away from where we need to go. Let's see. Lucas brought up a good point. We have to multiply the 2 small candies first and then add on the 1 large candy. Pearson, what did you get?
I got, about $7.50. $7.50.
It's almost $7.50. It's almost. We start with the $7. Let's look at it. Small candy is $2.25. I multiply that times 2 because I'm getting 2 small candies. Once again, we always line up to the right. I go boop, boop. I move it out of my way. 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. 2 times 2 is 4. So I find out that I get $4.50 because I had to boop back 1, 2. But I also have to add, because it's and. And means add. A large candy. So I add $3.20, and this time I line up my decimals. So I get 0, 7, drop my decimal, 7. So I find out that my answer is $7.70. For this one, it was a 2-step problem. You can't just multiply, you can't add them all and then multiply by 2. And then, Amelia, how much did 4 medium drinks cost? What did you get for that?
I got,
So she got $13.40. She's correct. A medium drink is $3.35. We line it up to the right, as we know. We have to double boop. We go boop, boop. I'm lazy, so I'm going to go boop, boop. I'm just going to bring it back now. 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 2 is 14. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 1 is 13. So I get that, $13.40. So we all need to make sure we know when we multiply, we line up to the right. And then when we are adding, we line up our decimals. So what's the total cost? The total cost, we're going to add these together. That equals 0. 7 plus 4 is 11, plus 8 is 19. 1 plus 9 is 10, plus 7 is 17, plus 3 is 20. 1 plus 2 is 30. Here, since we are adding, we just bring our decimals straight down. So the total is $30.90. about how much should they pay if we split it evenly? So if we're estimating, if we're trying to guess about how much, Marley, how much are they each going to pay approximately?
$31.
Oh, that's how much they would pay in total. That's a good amount. Like, we can estimate to 31. There's 4 friends. What's a good number close to $30.90? We can split into 4 groups. What's a good number that we can split into 4 groups?
35?
So,
No, wait, never mind.
what do you think?
Well, I think maybe you could round 30 to 40.
That's a big jump. It works, but it's a big jump. Pearson?
I think you could round 90 to 1.
So we would make it 31, but we're still not divisible by 4, Ben.
They could each,
So what would you round that number to first?
well,
Lucas, what did you round it to?
My question is on the question 2.
She rounded 30 to 28.
7 times 4 equals 28.
Yeah,
so
7
they
times-
would pay about $7.
About $7. Did anybody round it to something different? Eduardo, did you round it to something different?
Yeah, I rounded it to 32.
I also rounded it to 32. And then what'd you get? When we divide?
Each person would pay about $8.
About $8. Hey, those numbers are really close. They paid about $7 or $8. That makes sense. So about how much should each person pay? $7 or $8. Here is this. So write this down. The rule to divide by decimals. Your divisor cannot have a decimal. We will learn more about this tomorrow. So we will learn more about this one tomorrow. And wherever the decimal is in the dividend, all you do is bring it straight up. So your divisor, the outside number, cannot have a decimal. But the inside number, wherever the decimal is, just like with addition subtraction, we bring it up. We bring it up. So here's an example. If I'm dividing 9 and 9/10 by 3, 3 doesn't have a decimal. The divisor doesn't have a decimal. So that already follows rule 1. And I just bring my decimal straight up. Same thing here. 35 and 1/10. All I do is I bring my decimal straight up because the decimal is on the outside. Let's look at these problems right now. We're going to look at these problems. So 2 goes into 6 and 8/10. I just bring my decimal straight up. That's all I do. Boop, boop, boop. Straight up decimal. Absolutely nothing changes. Wherever the decimal is inside our house, wherever the decimal is inside for where our dividend is, all we do is we bring it straight up. So I want you guys to do these 2 problems for me. Jessica, what did you get as the answer for this first one?
I got 3.4.
She got 3.4, 3 and 4/10. 3 and 4/10. Let's see. 2 goes into 6. 3 times. That's 6. We get 0. Then we bring down our 8. 2 goes into 8 4 times. And we just put it right there. The decimal doesn't move. Excellent job. Excellent job. I want to call then on Pearson for this second one. Pearson, what number goes on the outside?
Number go 3.
3 goes on the outside, so the 7 and 5/10 is in the inside. We bring our decimal up. What did you get as your answer?
I got 2.5.
2 and 5/10. Let's see. 3 goes into 7 2 times. That's 6. We subtract, we get 1. Bring down our number. 3 goes into 15 5 times. That's 15. We get 0. Yes, you guys. Yes. And so many of you got it in the chat. Camilla, Lucia, Amelia, Vahe got 1. Pearson technically he answered this one. So we have this. Great job, you guys. Here's some more. Here's some more I want you to practice. Okay, so 2 more here. Amelia, which number is outside the house?
Number 7.
The 7. And which number's inside the house?
3.5.
Yeah, 3 and 5/10. Your teacher's probably told you before, oh, the bigger number goes inside the house. That is not true. That is not true. That is not how it works. So, Amelia, let's go through this together. We bring up our decimal just straight up. How many times does 7 go into 3, Amelia?
0.
0 times. How many times does 7 go into 35, Amelia?
5.
5 times. That's 35. Yes, we are done. Yes, we are done. Abner, which number goes on the outside, Abner?
9.
Perfect. The 2 goes on the outside, so the 9 and 8/10 goes on the inside. We bring up our decimal. Abner, how many times does 2 go into 9? How many times does 2 go into 9?
So it's 8 into 6, so 4 times.
So 4 times, that's 8. He's correct. We got a 1. We bring down our 8. Abner, how many times does 2 go into 18? How many times does 2 go into 18?
9.
9 times. And that's exactly 18. And we get 0. Yes, Abner. Yes, Amelia. You guys are getting it. Yes. What about this one? Greg, which number goes on the outside?
14.
Perfect. So the 7.7 goes on the inside. 7 and 7/10. We bring up our decimal. Greg, how many times does 14 go into 7?
0 times.
0 times. How many times does 14 go into 77? Do you know?
5 times.
Yeah, 5 times. And what is that?
It's 50. No, sorry, 70.
70. Yeah, I knew you knew it. We get a 7. Hey, we don't have any numbers. What do I have to do, Greg, when I have no more leftover numbers? Do I just keep a remainder?
You drop a 0.
Drop a 0. Exactly. And hey, he already did this. It goes in 5 times. That's 70. We get 0. Yes, Greg, you got it. Yes. So, Lucas, we bring up our decimal. How many times does 3 go into 6? 2 times. That's 6. We get 0. We bring down our 7. How many times does it go into 7?
2 times as well.
Perfect. We have that 6. We get a 1. Now I bring down the 4. How many times does 3 go into 14?
4 times.
4 times. That's 12. We get 2. Hey, I ran out of numbers. What do I need to do?
Add a 0.
Perfect. We bring down our 0. How many times does it go into 20?
6.
Goes in 6 times. That's 18. We get a 2. Now,
Wait, yes.
what do I have to do?
Repeat it.
He figured out, yes, that it's repeating because we'd bring down another. Look at that. 20 is here. 20 is here. We keep going. So we would put our line over the 6. I wanted to congratulate also Camilla and Lucia. And then Pearson just forgot to move his decimals just a tiny bit. He forgot to bring up his decimal just a tiny bit. But yes, it's a repeating decimal, you guys. Great job. Alec, what number goes inside the house?
Inside the house is 9.48.
Yeah, 9 and 48/100. So the outside is 15. We bring up our decimal. How many times does it go into 9?
0 times.
0 times. How many times does it go into 94?
8.
Not 8.
What?
So it goes in 6 times. Yes, 15 times 6 is 90. We subtract, we get 4. We bring down our 8. How many times does it go into 48?
2 times.
3 times. We get 45. We subtract, we get 3. Hey, what do I have to do now?
Bring down.
Make a 0. Bring it down.
Down.
How many times does 15 go into 30?
2 times.
2 times. That's 30. Yes, Alec. Yes. And in the chat, we also got that Camilla got it. We had that Vahe got it. Lucia got it. Excellent. Sophia, which number goes outside the house?
Outside or inside?
Outside. 4. So the inside is 3 and 49/100. We just bring up our decimal. As we know, Sophia, how many times does 4 go into 3?
0.
0. What about 4 goes into 34?
4.
Perfect. 8 times. That's 32. I subtract, I get 2. I bring down my 9. How many times does 4 go into 29? 7 times. That's 28. I get a 1. What do I have to do now?
Now you have to, 4.
I put a 0.
No, sorry, we put a 0.
Perfect. 4 into 10?
2 times.
2 times. That's 8. We get 2. Another 0. And Sophia, how many times does 4 go into 20?
5 times.
And that is exactly 20, so we end up with 0. Yes, you guys, yes. Again, Lucia got this one correct. Hannah got it correct. I know more of you did, but it's not in the chat necessarily. Here's these ones, you guys. Keep practicing with these ones. So, Ava, excellent. We bring up our decimal. How many times does 2 go into 2? How many times? 1, and that's 2. We get 0. Bring down our 8. How many times does it go into 8? 4 times. That's 8. We get a 0 again. Even though I get a 0, can I stop? No, we still have numbers. I bring down the 6. And then Ava, how many times does it go into 6? 3 times. It's 6. Now I get my 0 and I have no more numbers. Yes, Ava, 14 and 3/10. Excellent. So, Eduardo, which number goes outside the house?
7.
Perfect. 17. So inside is 55.08 and 800ths. How many times does 17 go into 5? It doesn't, so we'll skip it. How many times does 17 go into 55? Do you have a guess?
3.
3 times, yes. And do you know what it is?
51.
Yes, 51. We get 4. I now bring down my 0. How many times does 17 go into 40?
I found my mistake.
It goes in 2 times, and that's 34. So we get a 6. I bring that down, and I get 68. How many times does 17 go into 68? Take a guess. It goes in 4 times, exactly. That's 68. And we're done. Yes. Over here, we actually did this question, but I want to do the chart. So it says, cost for £2. I'm going to call on Camilla. What was the cost that you got for £2?
The cost I got for £2 is $2 and 80.
Yep.
No,
800.
81.
815,000. Now, mind you, since it's money, we would technically round it to $2.82, but I like that we got our full answer anyway. Exactly, when we went through, the 2 is on the outside, the 5 and 6300ths, we just bring our decimal up. This was 2, we had 8, 1, we had to add a 0 and get 5. Let's see, Lucia, what did you get for the second one? What did you get for the second one, Lucia? Just to do it really fast, we get 19675. So it is a terminating decimal. You can practice it in there. Oh, Camilla literally wrote it in the chat. Great job. Here's this next one. Kristen and her 2 friends are sharing the cost of a funnel cake. The funnel cake costs $5.49. If Kristen has $2, how much will she have left after she pays her share? So Kristen and her 2 friends. That means there's 3 people splitting the cost of this funnel cake. So I want you guys to find this out. 3 people splitting the cost of this one funnel cake. Camilla and Pearson both wrote in the chat and they got it correct. 3 goes into 5 1 time. That's 3. We get 2. 24. That's 8 times. We get 24. We bring it down 9 and it goes in 3 times. The money she would have left over would be 17 cents, but I care more about if we can divide. And also Amelia and Lucas wrote it in the chat too. Guided practice, page 234. So this is page 234. 234. Page 234. I want to do this quickly together so that we know we can finish on time.
And our
4, 3.6, 3 and 6/10. So I'm going to call on random people. Delaney, how many times does 4 go into 3?
0 times.
0 times. So now how many times does 4 go into 36?
Let's say.
It goes in 9 times. That's our answer because it's 36. We get 0. Yes! This second one, 22, 12.32. We know we bring up our decimal. 22 does not go into 12. 22 goes into 132. It goes in, I'm trying to think, 6 times, 123 as I'm messing up. 123, it goes in 5 times. 5 times 22 would be 110. We drop that, we get 13. And now 132, and we get 6. And that's exactly what our answer is. So it's 0.56. The reason I'm doing this is so you guys can have it in your answers. Just because we're running out of time, if we're doing this, 69 and 904 thousandths. When we divide this, and I want you to do it in your books though, but your answer will be this. So always check your work, do the practice in your book. If light travels 5.88 hundredths trillion miles in 1 year, how far will it travel in 1 month? There are 12 months in a year, so we're going to divide 5 and 88 hundredths by 12. We get that. Lastly, 4 dozen bagels cost $30. How much change will you receive if you pay for a dozen bagels with a $10 bill? So you want a dozen bagels. So we're dividing 30 into 12 groups because we're splitting 30 into 4 dozen. A dozen is 12, and we just want 1 dozen. We find out that it costs, never mind, I don't like this problem. It's a waste of time. I don't like it. But those are the answers for this, so check your work. Make sure you do it in your book and check your work. Your homework is page 235, numbers 1 through 7. Numbers 1 through 7. So your homework is page 235, numbers 1 through 7. You don't necessarily know how to do numbers 8 and 9, but you will be able to do 10 if you want to.